Geometry 101. I just wanted to send you a quick tutorial, just briefly, what we've been learning this past week and what we'll be learning next week. This past week we have really gotten to get a good look at what we are categorizing as our 2D shapes. And a 2D shape is any shape that is flat. Okay. A 2D shape has to also be closed. Okay. So a 2D shape, two-dimensional, cannot be a line. That would be one-dimensional. It has to be a closed shape. So that can be a circle, that can be a square, or that can be something like this triangle here. Okay. And a couple words that we have been implementing into our vocabulary and into our journals. The first one is going to be polygon. And a polygon is any shape that has 3 or more straight lines. Okay, so the key word here is more, 3 or more. That means it can have 17 straight lines if it needs to have it. Another word that we've introduced is quadrilateral. And the important thing about quadrilateral is that quad is 4, which means that it's any shape with 4 lines. It cannot have 3, it cannot have 5, it can only have 4. So quadrilateral. Okay, 4 sides, that is it. It can only have 4 sides. So please emphasize to students that quad means 4. We counted at 1, 2, 3, 4 letters, quadrilateral. Another word that we also introduced was parallelogram. And parallelogram right here has parallel in it, and it is the only shape, the only thing that can be a parallelogram is any shape that has 2 sets of parallel lines. Okay, and we are also telling our students that sets can also mean pair. We have a pair of socks, which means 2. So 2 lines that are never touching each other are one set of parallel lines. So students are getting a little bit confused. They understand the concept. I asked them how many is a square a parallelogram, and they say yes. And I say, well, how many sets of parallel lines does it have? And they'll tell me 4. Because they're thinking this is a parallel line, and this is a parallel line, and this is a parallel line, and this is a parallel line. So they're telling me 4. But the answer that I really need when I'm asking how many pairs or sets of parallel lines would be 2. So it would be this set, and it would be this set. So that's really what I'm looking for when I'm asking a question out loud or when they see it on an assessment. So that's just a little bit about the vocabulary that we've learned this week. If you have any questions, please email or call. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. Here is one of our notes page in our interactive notebook for math. And I just wanted to point out that we have all of the definitions that we are talking about, plus we have a little bit more information. We're go ahead and breaking it down to parallel lines right here. The way that students are going to show me they know shapes are parallel when I ask them to draw them or to label them is we have these arrows going the opposite way. So we have these little arrows. And on this square, even though this particular square has 2 sets of parallel lines, I wanted them to see the difference between the horizontal parallel lines and also the vertical parallel lines. So you'll see here that students realize that 2 squares can make 1 rectangle. So they went ahead and labeled their horizontal parallel lines and also their vertical parallel lines here. Another thing you'll see on shapes, whether students label them this way or the assessment comes that way, are these angle markings right here. And the ones that are square right here mean that they are right angles or they are 90-degree angles. Students know when they see this symbol, it is a right angle. If it doesn't have this, students know that they have a tool right here with their hands. If anything makes an L, then it is a right angle. So I can go ahead and close this page, and I know that this journal that I have right here is actually a right angle on its corners. Another thing, if it is not a right angle, they know that it has a curved line. We don't know the degrees of this angle, and we don't exactly know what it's called, but we know that it is not a right angle, and that's really what's important for third grade. One more shape that we added here was the trapezoid. And the definition for a trapezoid is the only shape that has one set of parallel lines. So this trapezoid right here only has horizontal parallel lines right here, but it does not have these vertical parallel lines. And a trapezoid might not always look like this. It might actually stop right here and have two 90-degree angles. But it still is considered a trapezoid because it has one set of parallel lines. And again, we're marking these angles right here because we don't know what they are. And that's just a little bit about the notes we are taking in our interactive notebooks. And we'll be possibly sending these notebooks home so that students have a chance to study at home with these notebooks before taking assessments or even before the STAR test begins.